Let's take a look at this post here. I think this is incredibly interesting. This is Michael Saylor on X talking about the changes that strategy has made. This is a strategy heavy episode this week, but it is what it is. So, what do we have here? We have a change in the strategy digital credit capital framework. We have strategy increasing their US dollar reserve to 2.55 billion, which is 17.4 months of dividend coverage. They raised the STRC dividend from 11.5 to 12, as we mentioned, which should be noted that it isn't just new STRC being paying more. This is all the STRC that they've already issued now has this higher cost of capital associated with it. So they raised all this cash. They increased their months of dividend coverage from, I think it was around 7. They increased it massively. And now, and that's even accounting for the fact that their cost of capital has gone up. So they also stated here they're going to maintain a minimum of 12 months. And they've also repeatedly mentioned in here that I will just ignore, but I'll just state they've repeatedly mentioned that they won't be using the cash reserve for anything else than dividends. I think a large part of the STRC drawdown was because they used part of those US dollar reserve to pay off some of the debt and reduced the dividend months to cover. Okay, so strategy has established a repurchase program of up to 1 billion for their digital credit securities, which means they can actually buy back what they believe to be discounted preferred instruments. So if STRC is trading below 100, they could be a buyer to begin pushing that price back up. They could buy back things like STRC or STRD, which I believe are incredibly undervalued right now, if you believe in the long-term vision of this and like credit instruments and income instruments. Personally, I would buy Bitcoin over those, but it makes sense that this company would retire those as their obligations on their balance sheet, and it increases the attractiveness from the market in those instruments. They also have a repurchase agreement of up to $1 billion of the MSTR common. So as the MSTR common trades below the MNAV that is accretive, they could actually buy that back. And the way they would do this is by monetizing their Bitcoin. And that's an interesting term. What it essentially means is they can sell some of their Bitcoin. They've talked about this a lot. They sold 32 Bitcoin. They've sold, it says they may be able to sell Bitcoin to fund the US dollar reserve, dividends and interest expenses, repurchases of the digital credit securities, and MSTR under our repurchase programs. I think this is smart, right? It's smart to issue MSTR when it's accretive to be able to buy Bitcoin. It's smart to be able to buy back MSTR when it is not accretive to the Bitcoin per share anymore. They should have done this a long time ago, actually. It's kind of interesting that they created this massive, really intelligent battle plan prior to when they probably should have already had it. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but that would be some criticism that I would find very valid of MSTR right now is why did they not do this sooner? But obviously it is very well thought out. And they are kind of a cruise ship in the way of maneuvering where it's very slow and very stable and much more than sort of a lean speedboat or something like that would be sort of the analogy. So with 2.55 billion of USD reserve and 1.25 billion of BTC monetization capacity for reserve building, strategy has 3.8 billion of dividend coverage, representing 25.9 months. All right, so this is including the ability to sell Bitcoin. They currently have 25 months of coverage. They have a minimum requirement of 12 that they've given themselves. And here it says, expects to remain disciplined in its use of MSTR issuance, particularly when the stock trades at or near 1x MNAV. It depends, I guess, how they measure the MNAV. They do have an enterprise value MNAV measurement on their site, and it is a little bit janky to use that one, to say the least. Don't second guess that your Bitcoin is safe. Get a security audit through a one-on-one session with me and join the school community, the Bitcoin Masters, to meet other Bitcoiners, grow your network, and grow your net worth.